Hello and welcome to week 5, the last week of AC1510 Cost Accounting Fundamentals. Remember that this is the last week, so everything is due on Sunday as of the close of week 5. No late work for the last week, so make sure to get everything you can in by the end of the course. And the biggest thing, the most important in point totals is the final. It is a multiple choice, same format, so you want to make sure to get that in and pick up as many points on that. Don't get a 0 on the final. As normal, after the week closes, I have until the following Tuesday in order to enter the grades. I'm going to try to get everything in there by Monday, and then I'd like anybody to look at what we have and make sure to get to any questions right away before the grades push out of my hands on Tuesday, at which time we have very little recourse after the grades have been pushed out. So make sure if you have any questions, look at it early, get to me by Tuesday before the grades get pushed out after the close. The close is on Sunday. We have until Tuesday to make any adjustments. All right, remember that the contact information is up here with the name and the email address. Going to go down to the current week we're in, which of course is week 5. We have the objectives, we have the topics. We're going to be covering chapter 25. It's only going to be one chapter instead of 2 chapters this time, but chapter 25 is fairly long. It's going to cover some different topics. It's going to cover types of managerial decisions, longer term types of decisions like purchasing equipment for a long term, or should we close a department, or what kind of product mix should we have if we're trying to make these decisions. These decisions are common in managerial accounting, but they're also very helpful in terms of just making longer term decisions. Whenever we make a decision such as to buy a house or to what type of car to buy or something like that, same type of principles could apply in many of these situations. One of those being the time value of money that we're going to talk about, and just ways to think about the process in terms of relevant costs versus costs that are not relevant. The major example being like sunk costs. We often, just as humans, tend to put good money after bad instead of analyzing something without taking into account costs that don't change whether what the decision is at this point going forward. So that's what we're going to be going over. We have the videos here. You can click on these, and remember how these work. You can hit the drop down here and it'll show the playlist. They're not all in here yet, but then you can go to another one here and close it. Or you can hit the drop down, and then if you click up here again, it'll take you to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel may display like this, or you may see it like this. But in any case, there should be the playlist with the rest of the videos in there, and you can watch through those at whatever leisure you have. So I'm going to close that. And then these items here are basically the same thing, but they're designed to be not needing the visual. So these are designed just to have the lectures, so that if you were doing something else, such as if you're doing dishes or you're driving or something and you wanted to listen to some of the lectures, then this is a format that could be helpful for that. You can click on it here and it'll play within here. If you close this out, then you can go forward and pause it and then play it again. These will also be in iTunes up here. So if you have iTunes and you want to try to find it on your phone, if you look up accounting instruction help and how to, you should be able to find them there as well. I'm trying to upload them to Stitcher too. So if you have another phone other than an iPhone, you might be able to download it from Stitcher rather than the iPhone store. So those are just some options. Let me know if those are helpful or not. And then everything from the discussion forums on down are going to be what we need to do for week 5. So of course we have the discussion forums. We want to make sure to pick that up. Get full credit on the discussion forums. They're worth 21% of the grade. You have most control over it. Then we got the 2 assignments we'll take a look at in McGraw-Hill's Connect. We've got the Learn Smart homework we'll take a look at in McGraw-Hill's Connect. Make sure to do the Moodle Rooms problems. If you haven't done any of the Moodle Rooms problems in the past, this problem, not in Connect. One problem each week, hasn't been in Connect. Check your grade book. If you got any zeros on them, then go in and do them, and I'll grade them at the end of the week. And then the quiz, make sure to take the quiz. This will be in Connect as well. Make sure to do this. This is the final. It's worth the most points, even if you're not feeling totally ready for it. Make sure to do that. Don't get a 0 on the final. All right, going to take a look at McGraw-Hill up here. We're going to look at the last week, being week 5. So we've got the one Learn Smart. We've got the familiar layout with the problems here and the worksheet. Remember that the worksheet just goes along with the problem. You don't have to turn in the worksheet because it won't be graded, but it will be able to help out with this problem. So if you downloaded that paperclip, then it would look like this. We've got the video tab. We've got the example tab. Now this one, you might actually want to use the worksheet and actually calculate it, because it will be helpful to calculate out in here. So it won't be the exact example problem, but it'll be similar. And then you can work it out here and then input that data. Also, provided the tables here. So the tables, rather than looking up in the book, can be kind of a pain. They are in the book, in the appendix at the back of the book, but they're provided here as well. So that's another resource you can take a look at for that. All right, and then make sure to take the final, of course. Once again, I'm going to go back to the Moodle Rooms over here and scroll up to the grade book on the left-hand side. So remember that everything is due on Sunday, and I have until Tuesday to enter the grades. I'm trying to get everything in by Monday. So for example, week 4 ends on Sunday, and I'm going to try to get everything in there by Monday night. Therefore, Tuesday, you want to go through here and see that everything is updated, such as the discussion forum should go from a dash to hopefully 100%, because everybody's shooting for 100% on that. Assignments should be updated, as well as quizzes and homework. If anything shows a 0 for week 4, if the dash turns into a 0, that means it's been graded, hasn't been done. Or if it has been done, let me know and I'll see why it didn't get graded. But if you have any zeros in here, then you want to go in and see if you can pick up that late work. Same thing will be for week 5. Anything done in week 5 will be graded following the week 5, or it will be graded by the following time of week 5 by Tuesday. So make sure to get that information in. And just final reminder, week 5, last week, no late work is due after that time period, but you want to check your grade, and if you got any questions, I have until Tuesday, and then the grades are really out of my hands for the most part. So make sure to check the grades on Monday or Tuesday morning, and then let me know if there's any questions about them so we can handle them as soon as possible. Also note that if anybody had some kind of unusual circumstance like sickness, or someone in the family went to the hospital or something like that, and you wanted to try to file for an incomplete, this would be the time to do that in the final week here. Incompletes are that's a 2-week extension. I don't recommend them except for a very last resort. They are not always accepted. They have to go through the registrar's office in order to be accepted, but it would take an unusual circumstance such as a sickness or like a hospitalization or something like that, and then you'd have to file a request. The request would be in the portal, so it's in your student portal up here, and then they would go to the central registrar and it would go to me and we'd approve that. So if anybody has any questions about that, then let me know on that. As soon as we can. We got to get that done before the close of the class if that is an option for anybody. And then we have the instructor survey down here. This is mainly geared towards the instructor's performance and not geared so much towards things that the instructor does not have control over. So some of the things that the instructor does not have control over are the amount of material that's going to be in the course, the use of technologies such as Connect, and the Moodle Room setup, how Moodle Room is set up. If you have questions about those things, then please put those into the comments in the survey, and I will relay those. Hopefully we can relay those to the design team, who is the one in charge of that type of stuff. The information that the instructor does have control over is basically how fast they get back to student comments, how much they're going to post to the discussion forum, to any added resources on top of the McGraw-Hill and Moodle Rooms added for use and benefit of students. Those are the types of things there. Charter College Policy generally expects around a 90% for instructor performance on those.